Welcome to the Degenerate Nation podcast special edition.
You're so special.
We're going to talk about Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. May 4th. Star Wars, baby, baby. Going around the universe in an ancient history, baby, baby.
For those of you that are cultured enough to know this reference, may the Schwartz be with you.
Always. I see our Schwartz are twisted. My grandpa, Papa didn't make us watch it, but he's like, you guys want to watch this? I was like 12 or something, maybe a little younger, and we're watching Spaceballs on TV. I was like, Papa, this is awesome.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, he was cool. We went to get White Castle afterwards.
Man, so 90s.
It was great. Yeah, it was probably like 91, 92, something like that.
I was still but a young sperm at that point.
No, you weren't even a sperm yet.
You don't know that. Maybe I got held back in sperm high school.
Sperm high school? Like, you fucking, like, being a sperm for 4 years? 5 years, or whatever it was?
Beating up at all the smaller sperm. Like, dude, give me your fucking sperm money, man.
Yeah, give me your sperm money. I'm gonna go back to the balls and tell on you. You're like just hanging out at the vast difference, like waiting for the call that never comes, and eventually you're like, you know what? I just gotta go for it, and that's how you get to the egg.
Exactly, and then
the half of you, anyways.
And here's what happened: that sperm that got held back, fetal alcohol syndrome, multiple sperm felonies, and mental retardation. Like, yeah. He got out.
He got the fuck out. So, all right, we're gonna begin by ranking the films in order of worst to first.
Worst to first? Okay.
Worst to first, and you get to go first, and then I will detract you, and then you get to not retort.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll take it. And
yeah.
just for our listeners, from Cambodia to Thailand all the way to Australia, Andy's gonna pick apart my rankings, but that's okay.
Yeah,
that's
I'm going to.
That's all right. Now, are we just going Skywalker trilogy, or should we throw in Rogue One, Solo, and I think that's it, right? Outside of
we can. What do you want to include them?
Yeah, why not? Let's do
all right,
that.
include them. I didn't see Solo, but I'll just objectively rank it near the bottom.
And that's where I would place it. But okay. Drum roll.
That's more appropriate. R2-D2 roll.
Sad R2-D2 noise.
It's like a space cat. Like a lazy one, like the noises it makes. Go ahead.
Alright, so starting at the bottom.
Bottom.
The bottom bitch of the entire Star Wars movie catalog is The Clone Wars. I'm sorry. It had to be done.
You mean Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the Clones,
yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So bad that you couldn't even remember its name.
Well, it's because the Clone Wars, the animated TV show, is just finished up its duration,
series
its lifetime, yesterday. So that was in my head. But yes, Attack of the Clones, definitely bottom bitch. Right on top of Attack of the Clones, we will put Solo. On top of that, we will put it's getting tough. My list fluctuates. I'm not going to try and stay on this too long. Attack of the Clones, Solo. Then we'll put God, you're going to hate me for this. Empire Strikes Back. Followed by on top of that, we'll put on top of that, we will put The Phantom Menace, followed by Return of the Jedi, then Revenge of the Sith. Did I cross all my T's and dot my I's?
No, you missed 3 of films. 3 of them.
All right, man. This is I can't count more than 6.
Do you say
right?
Revenge of the Sith was the best of all of them?
I think Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars movie that's been made.
No! Can debunk you in one word.
This would be way easier for me to do top down. I'm a top guy. I'm always on top.
You're a Star Wars bottom because you just missed 3 of 11 films.
Right. Guarantee you, I know more than Star Wars about all of our listeners. And yeah, sometimes I play with my Legos, and sometimes the little lightsabers might go in my pee-pee hole. What about it?
All right, this is what the proper order. Okay, bottom bitch, obviously, besides Patrice, is Attack of the Clones. That movie, it's in the Star Wars universe, but it's really not. It's not a good movie. The wooden romantic dialogue is garbage. His dialogue is garbage. That's the problem.
It is,
and it's boring. It's a boring story. It's very political. It wastes Count Dooku. He's in it, but I don't remember a single thing that he does in it. Does he fight anybody? I don't know because I don't want to watch that film again. I'm not going to. So if you love that film, please defend it at degeneratnation@gmail.com.
Yeah, please. I'd love to hear your pitch of it.
Was definitely too depressed to watch Solo. Didn't feel like watching it. Heard I didn't miss anything. That's number 10. Okay. Number 9, Phantom Menace.
Okay. And I can understand the arguments for it.
Darth Maul was awesome. Killing Darth Maul was not awesome. You could have a conclusion to your picture be kind of wide open because it's the first one. You don't need to follow the any structure. You invented these movies. You can do whatever you want, and then you kill off the second coolest, third coolest, Emperor, Vader, and then Darth Maul. Villain that you've created in the whole fucking series and the whole universe.
Probably one of the coolest villains created in cinema
ever.
History, right?
He was awesome. He looked cool, and he had the double lightsaber, and then
oh my god, Duel of the Fates.
Yeah. So good. It's just, and I feel bad for Jake Lloyd too. Like he kind of fell apart. I went out with a girl one time. Great date, but we just ended up going out again. But she went to high school with him.
Oh, really?
And she was like near him in terms of names. I won't give a name away, obviously, but so she would be called into line with him or whatever and stuff for like picture day and shit like that. And she's like, yeah, I remember him. He was fucked up.
Her name Jacqueline Shoyd.
There you go. Shoyd, Miss Shoyd. He was nowhere near Lloyd. Good one. They only go by what rhymes and not the letters. All right. So we got Clones, Solo, Phantom. This is a tough one. All right, because time has separated me a little bit. I'm going with Episode 9 in my number 8 spot.
Because I'm retarded. I completely forgot about. Okay, I see where I'm.
Episode 9 in my top spot. And then we're going to go, or my 8th spot, not my top spot. The Last Jedi, okay, I will put at number 7.
I like that. I can agree with that.
It was lower for me. I would say it was 9th or 8th. But I really liked that they took some risks and to go with, like, Dark Luke and stuff and have... Here's one thing that pissed me off, and then when I thought about it more, I was like, you know what? That was actually an interesting way to arrive at a plot device. Was when they had what's-her-face, Rose.
Right. Oh, Rose, Asian chick.
Rose, Asian chick, save Finn. But if Finn goes in there, he has a perfect ending for his character, right? Perfect ending. Saves the day. But he doesn't, and then so Luke has to do it by force projecting himself, thus sacrificing himself, which is a much bigger deal than Finn doing it, because then as a force ghost, he can like mentor Rey in the next movie.
Precisely. That's a good takeaway. I think.
And so Dark Luke was justified because he redeems himself.
Totally.
But the rest of it was crap.
That movie in and of itself. And we've talked about it before, and actually through our conversations, I think I've definitely developed more of an appreciation for it because I think it tried to do as best as it could. Yeah. However, within that blanket statement, you tried to push too much of an agenda on accepting of certain character types, which I don't fuck with,
Mechanics?
especially in the Star Wars universe. A lot of things wrong with it. My biggest complaint for that movie is when you end The Force Awakens with Rey doesn't have an identity, has struggled with it her whole life, finds out she's Force sensitive, finds out she wants to be a Jedi, or has the idea she wants to be a Jedi, has the most sacred weapon in the universe that we've known since 1977, since the first Star Wars movie came out.
Yes.
You take that exact
40 years
lightsaber
at that point.
we first see on camera, and you hand it to Luke Skywalker, who the story is built up about finding Luke. You give it to him, and I understand you were going for comedy, but the last thing you do is have your main character, Luke Skywalker, take a lightsaber from your other main character and throw it off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, I liked it. because what they showed later, everything made sense in that movie except for the stuff that didn't involve Luke. Right?
Actually, I agree. I think the stuff, and that was probably what they were going for, right?
Yeah. Was
to have it be dark and confusing and very perplexed, which I think it worked. I do. So, you know what? Over time, I think I'll grow to appreciate The Last Jedi more. Certainly more than The Rise of Skywalker. Because that's the only Star Wars movie, and I'm a Star Wars fan to my core. I mean, I'm wearing a fucking shirt right now.
He's wearing a shirt. He's got shit in his room.
Legos in my dick.
He beats off to Rey photos.
I have. I've done
As he shot. Daisy Ridley's a fox.
Dude, she's so attractive. However,
very nice, classy, posh fox.
Very. A little small in the titty section, but that's okay.
She can force enlarge her tits. For me, she's perfect. Not perfect. No one is perfect, but I'm not gonna say no. Okay, Daisy, holla. Daisy Ridley, get at me.
Do you think within the Star Wars universe they have plastic surgeons?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and here is your 7th tail. Are you sure you want to go to an 8th? Yeah.
Admiral Akbar had his dick raised.
It's a trap.
Yeah, they take the scalpel out. It's a trap. It's a trap. So yeah, the reason that I give the Last Jedi a nod over this Rise of Skywalker is because they both would get boosted if they had teased, even just with the laughter thing that they use in that preview for episode 9. That
oh my God,
if they had used that at the end of The Last Jedi, that would have been fucking perfect, because then you would have linked the movies together instead of, it seems like you try to erase something that was really creative. It wasn't executed greatly because it didn't have the producers weren't really they were asleep at the wheel and let this trying to have 3 different people control the 3 different movies. It's like it's
not, and you're gonna get creative differences.
It didn't work.
You're gonna get, even if you try and mesh together as best as possible the ideas from one to another, you're gonna lose specific parts.
Yeah, and it didn't work overall. Like, because suddenly Palpatine's back, and I like that she was his grandson or granddaughter.
I think they were scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I liked it though, but it would have been nice if she had heard these voices and if you had set it up.
Yes.
That you heard these competing voices during the first 2. Like, if you set that up that you want to bring Palpatine as the best guy, okay. Do we really need a Snoke? No.
Sure. No, but that's Snoke, in my opinion, the most wasted aspect of the sequel trilogy completely.
He was a red herring entirely.
Well, yeah, when JJ, brought The Force Awakens to what it is, they could have taken that and made it so cool.
Yeah.
And then Rian Johnson came in and decides to do something completely different. And so I think the story arc that's built through The Force Awakens has nothing to do with Palpatine. Maybe they were thinking of Palpatine in the end.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll buy that to an extent. However, what I don't buy is that Snoke was created by Palpatine from the start. That's an after-the-fact thought that was built in, and it works. Like, it obviously works. Like, it's believable. but it's a stretch. So I didn't.
It's
like
a stretch
that.
of his powers that we need to see those type of dark powers in subsequent movies. So I would say like improve those couple movies that need improvement by redeeming certain things or like expanding on concepts
Absolutely.
like make the Palpatine dark powers be almost exceeded by someone in the episode 10 or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
With a
Totally.
what's this? I forget his first name. Is it Tiki? What Titi? Something like that. Taiki Watiti, right?
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He just got. Did you see that today? That he got awarded the standalone Star Wars movie.
I did, which is awesome.
I'm gonna put that one as a flat number 5 already out of the 12.
Oh.
Okay, so where did I leave off? I left off with number 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say Return of the Jedi is number 6.
Okay. I think it's okay. It's a good. I don't know. It's hard to. I wish I'd experienced those films.
Yeah.
When they came out initially, because it's hard for me to judge in comparison. I think it's a great film. I mean, obviously, so what? You're putting it 6 or 5, right?
6. 5, I'll go with Revenge of the Sith. And the reason I put them 6 and 5, I'm a little bit more grown-ass man, not a lot of ways, but in an entertainment preference kind of way. And the Ewoks, if you rewatch it, doesn't really do as much for me. And the fact that they just had a copycat, like, bigger Death Star, something
Wait,
that's like...
did you mean to say The Empire Strikes Back?
No.
Oh, well, there's no Ewoks in Revenge of the Sith.
No, I said in Return of the Jedi versus the Sith. The problem I had with Revenge of the Sith, god damn it, these titles, is the end when he goes, no! Instead of just destroying things, he does he destroy things or he's just like, no! Like he puts his hands up in like a touchdown Jesus like pose and like, no, Padme, my baby, where are my babies? And then how they basically rip the babies out of her vagina and like, Luke, whoosh, Leia. I was like, okay, why'd you speed that up? It's already over 2 hours. Just fucking like play it out and just have Darth Vader say something else or don't talk at all and just smash something. That would have been awesome, and they would have paired so well with Rogue One.
I think the fact that Padme dies of fucking sadness in that movie,
it works.
I mean, her dying works. However, saying she's lost the will to live, don't give me that bullshit. She just got force choked by the strongest force sensitive person.
Yeah, he force choked a pregnant woman.
Yeah, that's why she's dead. Don't say
with twins.
That happened.
He force choked like 3 people out in one person.
Yeah.
His own kids.
You wonder why Luke and Leia down the road end up making out on multiple occasions.
Right, yeah.
They got force choked.
Oh, because they always think ahead in this series So yeah, that's really my only fault with that. Like the shit when they're talking like in circles. Some people don't really like that. I love it. They're stalking around each other. It's like theater. It's fucking great. I love that shit. And then you see one takes the saber out. Oh, the way Mace Windu gets killed. Oh, that's fucking awesome. He died like a badass.
I hate that. He should have never gotten killed like that. That is fucking. It almost feels that it's.
It was
so
brutal.
unjust.
I loved it. Yoda was great in that movie too. It was great. He was like spry. Although, why is he like basically decrepit 30 years later? I don't know, but we'll skip that.
Because he's an old ass motherfucker.
Why was he so like spry then, and then 30 years later he's like a wreck?
It's like
he's ready to die. I think his Jedi are ready to die when their purpose has been fulfilled. When they find a true mentee for as they can be a Force Ghost mentor and shit.
Exactly.
You know, like that.
Once they figure out how to become one with the Force, that need to be on the physical plane becomes lesser.
Yeah, it's like Christianity's goal of going into heaven.
Exactly, dude. The amount of parallels between Christianity,
we're slipping. We're slapping and slipping on a Monday night.
Clement. No, the parallels between Catholicism and
the Force and
Star Wars.
Sith.
I mean, dude, you could write. There's probably tons of papers out there on it. It's ridiculous.
I smell your future paper coming on when you transfer schools or next semester. So that's 11 through 5. So
Yeah.
number 4, what do you think is gonna be 4 for me?
For you, I think 4 is going to be A New Hope.
No, Force Awakens.
Okay, I like that. I'm glad. I'm
Because they
pleasantly
introduced
surprised.
the Ray. Ray was great, and the little creature thing that is in the temple, I thought that was cool. What's
you
his
mean with,
face?
like, the glasses?
Yeah, that lady, she was cool.
Her name's
Bring
Maz.
Maz, killing off Han, bringing back Leia. I
I,
like it. I like it. I like it.
I
Just
think
kill, kill, kill. I like it. I like it. I like it.
it's like
And
fuck, marry, kill. It's like with those characters.
Yeah.
like, you had to kill off one. I understand them.
and
killing
Ben
off
was a
one.
great character.
Yeah. Sorry, I will not interrupt.
More
Continue.
so is the acting itself. Like, I don't know what was on the page, but like he brought it to life because Adam Driver is brilliant. Like, he's great.
In my opinion, the standout performance from the sequel trilogy is Adam Driver. He's fucking phenomenal.
It's the best performance from the entire 11.
Yeah, I would put it.
You can't count Darth Vader's voiceover.
I think him.
Palpatine?
I would say it's Adam Driver. Ewan McGinnis is a close second or third.
Yeah.
And then I think Hayden Christensen captured. I know the dialogue. The dialogue's terrible, but the emotional aspect of it. I mean, Anakin. I'd love to see. And really, I'm not saying, I'd love to see someone do it better, but I would have loved to see another character with different dialogue try and bring Anakin's persona to the film, because it's really difficult, right?
Yeah.
He's created by the Force. He's, he doesn't have a dad, and he's grown up on a sand planet where, no one likes sand. It's rough and irritating.
Yeah, Tatooine, man. Try to have fun growing up on Tatooine, right?
Yeah, well, sand in your dick every day.
Yeah. Well, he always had a face like he had sand in his dick all the day, and was like molested by Tusken Raiders, like standing in a line of Tusken Raiders. No, not him molested. Watching his mother being raided by a bunch of Tusken Raiders like a train on him, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, Adam Driver was fantastic. So number 3 is A New Hope.
Okay.
No, sorry, Rogue One. And this is what separates them, okay? Rogue One didn't have these iconic characters. It was like the messengers to get to those iconic characters. Otherwise, it would have been even like as a standalone thing, it might be even better than Empire as a standalone thing because you don't have the narrative going. You have a narrative that comes afterwards, but you don't have the build up before. There's no build up before. It's all based on future knowledge. And you're like, there's a sense of this combination of like, should I care about these people? And then as soon as they're on the screen, you're like, well, they're protagonists in a movie and I bought the ticket. I might as well care about these people. But then you start to care. But you also, when they die, you just don't feel like something was wrenched from you. You were like, they died for the cause, It's weird.
See, on that point, I disagree. But it's, well, actually, I don't know if I disagree. Because, like you're saying, it's hard to pop that out and just have it be its own characters.
Yeah.
But because you know the story and what comes next, when I watched that the first time, I felt gut wrenched because I think that's the first time in any Star Wars movie where everyone dies.
Yeah.
Everyone dies. Every main good guy dies at the end of the film. I was like blown away the first time I saw that in theaters. It's such a good movie.
Is there alternate ending where he just like they just tear each other's clothes off and go at it like really quickly, like a couple quick pumps, and they're both looking at like, oh, this is amazing.
He's like, I'm never this quick. Oh.
Yeah, I swear I usually last longer than this.
As their skin starts to
their skin's melting, and he's still like going till his bone falls off. That's right. So that's number 3.
Hold on. Back to skin melting off. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. In my opinion, second to, you could probably tie Vader and Palpatine for like best villain.
Yeah.
Not like.
I go with Palpatine. But Ben Mendelsohn's character, yeah.
Oh my God!
Fucking
the guy
awesome.
that plays Director Krennic, Ben Mendelsohn, fucking phenomenal. Oh, What are you waiting for? Deploy the garrison.
Yeah, he's a fucking petulant actor. It's great.
So good.
He's
so
good. He played a good, like, piece of shit brother in Bloodline, too.
Yeah,
He's good.
I've seen that. Great
You
movie.
seen that? Yeah, or the show? I only saw the first season, but
Oh,
I
no, I
watched
was
the rest
thinking
of
of, he plays like a guy that, him and his brother, him and a guy, they like rob a bunch of places. I can't remember what that movie's called. That's what I was thinking
Heat?
of. Heat? Might
Okay, so number 2, New Hope.
Does that mean, your number one's Empire?
Empire Strikes Back, motherfucker. That's like virtually everyone's answer except for New Hope. It's either Empire or New Hope. I'd say 70-30 in that order. Empire, New Hope. Empire Strikes Back is the best sequel in any series, including being better than Die Hard. Anything. I'm just joking. Those aren't even close. Better. I meant to say Godfather 2. And I said I started talking about the Die Hard series, which none of those are even close to the original. Godfather 2, fucking great film. Won an Oscar for Best Picture, the only sequel to ever win an Oscar for Best Picture. Well, guess what?
Crazy.
Empire Strikes Back should have also. I forget which one in 1980. I think it was like Ordinary People or something. But it should have been Empire Strikes Back. I don't even know if it was nominated. Finding out that Luke is his father. I mean, at the time, or that Vader's Luke's father, like, at the time, that was, like, ridiculous.
It's so crazy, right?
And he's like, no! See, that's the no. That's the no in the series. They can't be such your feelings. Yeah.
No. That can't be.
Yeah.
That's impossible!
It's fucking great. God, it's a great fucking movie. Lando has to betray Han to stay alive, basically. And stay in power. And he gets put in a carbon. He says, I love you. Like, I know.
I know. Classic line. And you know what? I should have. I think
you put it as number 8.
Has to be in my top 5. I don't know why I continuously.
Well, it technically was because you forgot about 3 of the movies.
I think Empire is probably like 4 or 5 steps, not in ranking, but just miles ahead of Return of the Jedi. I like Luke's progression in becoming, a Jedi officially, but in
the end of the Yoda. Doesn't Yoda die in Empire?
He does. He becomes one with the Force in
It's
Empire.
fucking awesome, man.
But okay, also one of the best lines in Star Wars history is as Luke is taking off in his X-wing to go to Bespin, to Cloud City, to try and rescue his friends. Obi-Wan and Luke,
Obi-Wan and Yoda
are talking to each other, and Obi-Wan goes, "That boy is our last hope." And you see the glare in the fire from the engines as it's taking off, and it shows the characters, and Yoda goes, "No, there is another." Talking about Leia, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
So cool.
It's fucking awesome, man. And when he falls down a thing, and they get him in the ship, and he take away, and he's just like, like he had him. He's trying to flip him, and then it ends up being flipped himself. So, like, it's just the methods that they get there in Return of the Jedi don't really, like, they work for me still, but, like, they don't, like, I'm not, like, just totally gripped seeing it again and again by, like, I have to suck and watch this, like, fucking Back to the Future is, like, probably one of the only films that'll get me to watch it.
You made a time machine? Out of a Mandalorian?
Yeah, Mandalorian. Oh, yeah, no, like, I just think, like, Empire Strikes Back is a nearly perfect film. It does, however, get the privilege of not having to fully stick the landing because it doesn't wrap up a series or a film. It gets to end on a cliffhanger. And it's really...
Exactly.
That's why Back to the Future 2, I think, is the second best sequel because that gets to end on a cliffhanger, too. And it's a humongous advantage. It's like a season finale kind of thing in a really good TV show because you have the one of the best TV finales ever was season 3 of Lost. I don't know if you ever watched that. It was after your time. I mean, before your time.
Yeah, it was in the midst of my time. However, I was probably like...
You were like 9. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, because I was like 22 to like 28 when that was on. Something like that. So, yeah, you were a little bit...
It's probably one of the best TV shows that's ever been on...
Network. Yeah, network, yeah. It was really good, but like there was this one season finale for season 3, and it just did a lot of mind blowing shit, and like that's how you do it right there. That's your exact midpoint of your series, and that's how you do it. Did they stick the landing? I don't know. Some people think yes, some people think no of the last few seasons, but like up until that point, it just fucking nailed like your halfway point. And these are things I remember when I'm trying to write something, because like if you get to a season finale, you got to leave it bam cliffhanger. You come in with a like the boulder in Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Just start your movie like or your show like with something like that, the equivalent of that just gives you this either adrenaline boost or really sets a mood or shocks you, and then get a fucking gut punch for a season finale. Like that's how you do it. And Empire Strikes Back nailed it. Got the gut punch.
I think I completely agree, actually. And to be honest, with how much I know you like writing, I could probably sit here all day and listen to you pitch me why Empire Strikes Back is fantastic. And by the end of it, it would probably move up 4 or 5 slots.
It should.
Now it's interesting to compare that sequel to the Clone Wars. Shouldn't
Attack of the Clones.
Or Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it doesn't end darkly, does it? I don't remember how it ends.
So Attack of the Clones ends. You have Obi-Wan, Leia, or Padme, and Anakin. They're held captive on Geonosis.
Yeah.
And then the Clone Army and the Jedi come and save them. Jango Fett dies, and Anakin gets his arm chopped off, which is... You get to see, like, the arrogance of Anakin thinking he's strong enough to take on a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan gets owned up, too, and then we see Yoda come in and save the day. And then that movie ends on the fucking love story note. That's the original trilogy was pushing that super hard, or the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
And you end with Anakin's bionic arm finger-banging Padme on Naboo.